Welcome to starter battle number 1, East Coast versus West Coast. King Arthur, Vermont versus San Francisco. All right, as you know, I have 6 sourdough starters that I started last week. And since I have 6 starters, I plan to do 3 videos putting 2 starters against each other in each video. So this video and the next 2 videos will be head-to-head battles of starter. So I'm going to take these 2 today, and we're going to do the same recipe with the same flour, with the same gear, same techniques, same oven. All that stuff is going to be equal, and we're going to just see what starter does what and just see what happens. Then we're going to taste the bread and see if there's any difference. And then next week and then the following week. And then we're going to get into some more different stuff like later on. But this is the plan right now. So let's get right into it. First step, I have to prime the starters. San Francisco, about 160 grams. A good cup of starter. 160 grams of water. Feed the mother. And just an FYI, I've been mixing now all my mother starters are really booming. So I've been mixing them pretty thick. So it's like almost a pasty thick starter, and I'm keeping these in the refrigerator during the week so they don't grow very fast. And then I only need to feed them about once a week. All right, so these are the recipe starters, and in about 2 hours we're going to be mixing our dough. Go. All right, the starters are primed. We're ready to mix our recipe. Today's recipe, we're doing 600 grams of bread flour, 200 grams of whole wheat flour, 400 grams of starter, 650 grams of water, and 18 grams of salt. Everything is being weighed on a scale in grams. 600 grams. 200 grams. 400 grams. 650. This is how I mix the dough. Bare hands. Take off your ring. And the idea here is we are going to incorporate the starter into the flour. Gently just turn it in. And then start rolling it. This is how I do it. There are other ways to do this. So the idea is to break up the starter and coat it with all the flour. You want to get the flour and the starter distributed throughout the bowl. No big giant clumps of starter in there. San Francisco starter is way fluffier than King Arthur. It's just super soft. Interesting. All right, the starter and all the flour is incorporated. Time to add 650 grams of water. And now all we're doing is mixing this up. Just a quick mix. That's it. Just about a minute of incorporating the water into the mix. That's all. Done. All right, that was step 2. We still have not added the salt. Now we're on to step 3, Autolyse. I'm just going to cover these up and walk away for 1 hour. Okay, on to step 4. Time to add the salt. And we're going to fold the salt right into the dough and do a couple of turns with the dough. And you can see we've done no kneading, no mechanical mixing. The dough just sat on the counter for 1 hour. Look at that. Done. Okay, fold number 2. Just dip your hand in a little water and you're going to fold the dough. Whoops. Get in there. The idea is to just get underneath and fold it. Turn the bowl, fold. Turn the bowl, fold. The idea is we eventually want to get a skin to form over the top of the dough. Wet hand. Turn the bowl, fold. See how that's starting to form a little skin there. Get under there. Fold number 2, done. Time for fold number 3. All right, King Arthur is definitely a tighter ball. San Francisco is a softer mass. Okay, these are going to spend the night in the fridge, about 8 hours. Good morning. All right, this just came out of the fridge. I'm just going to give it a quick turn, and then I'm going to let it come up to temperature before I turn it onto the table. All right, these are going to rest for about an hour and just warm up. Okay, the dough's been out of the fridge for about an hour. It's coming up to room temperature and it's starting to gas up a little bit. So I'm going to take it out of the bowl and get it on the counter. This is 2 loaves of bread. So we're going to divide the dough and then we're going to pre-shape it into sort of a loose ball, and also do 2 folds. 1 fold 90 degrees and then another fold. A metal dough scraper is a good investment. Okay, I'm going to just do turn 90 degrees. That's it. Trying to get this into a tight ball, just like that. See, we're going for this smooth skin on the outside of the dough. You get that, just use the counter and your scraper to kind of pull the dough so you got a tight skin on the outside. All right, King Arthur. Turn it. Fold it over. Okay. So this is the pre-shape. We're going to come back in about 30 minutes. Let them rest here on the counter, develop a little more gluten. We're going to do another fold and fold in half and then do the final shape and get these into the proofing stage. It's time to move into the proofing phase. My ideal way to proof this kind of bread is in a basket, in a banneton. I think it makes the bread proof or rise in a very nice defined place. It's easier to handle. It's much easier to turn out once you go to bake it. But I don't think a lot of people have these at home, and if you don't have these at home and you still want to make bread, you can just proof flat on a cookie sheet, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do 1 of each of these loaves in a basket and 1 of each of these loaves on a sheet, just so you can see the difference in how they rise and how they bake. I'm putting a little bit of flour on top so I don't tear the outer skin, because I want this to be, this is going to go flat in the basket on this side down so that this the bread will proof in the basket. So let me just turn these over. So you can see how much taller this is than this. The more you fold it, the more structure you're going to give it so the dough stands up better. So to prepare the basket, flour, so this is San Francisco. So these two I'm going to just put flat on a cookie sheet. All right, so proofing is going to be roughly an hour to 2 hours. I'm going to check on these things in about an hour, and I'm going to start preheating my oven in about an hour.